welcome to Whenever We Have Time. And we do this whenever we have time. I'm Rocksteady Letty.
I'm Nile Rivers.
Yeah, and so actually, Nile Rivers, I thought it'd be such a great idea if we interviewed you.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
I think it's
down.
a great idea.
Let's do it. It sounds like fun.
Here we are interviewing all these people that are amazing artists, but they, I think that it'd be important for people to actually know who we are.
Thank you.
You do so much, and I think it's important people know that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't really sleep, so that's how you get to do a lot of things.
Niall, what the fuck do you do?
Oh man, what do I do?
Man.
A lot of things. It started off with music, just writing stuff for myself and being able to express myself and talk about the things I didn't really have the balls to talk about with anybody else. It was very just like personal music for me.
So you started like writing stuff, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like mainly poetry.
And what kind of poetry were you writing about? Like, if you don't mind sharing, like what?
It was all love shit.
So you started writing poetry on love, right? And
yeah.
then you kind of hooked up with some friends and you started.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. Actually, I met a good friend of mine, Sean.
Okay.
Buddha Nahiran, and we talked about him in a previous episode. But he's a big influence on me and taking my artistry to a different level.
Nice.
So he introduced me to Joel, and Joel is just an amazing producer, musician himself, and he gave me the opportunity to record in his studio. I met Polaris at the time because of Joel.
Nice.
And Polaris, obviously is an amazing filmmaker. And I was like, maybe you have something to offer to these guys, And so I started like getting actors and just like people involved. So I ended up associate producing El Luchador with Polaris Castillo, and that was just like one of my biggest accomplishments. But yeah, taking that shift from making music to film was really weird because my friends were taking film to another level, and I saw that, and I wanted to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So I just really, I bothered them all the time, and I was like, hey, do you need me for this one? Do you need me for this? Do you need me for that? And I would just like help out on music videos, help out any way I could.
Right.
And then it led to El Luchador.
I don't know if you guys know, this guy's really funny. So you have to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, after El Luchador, I was given a task from Sean Buddha Nahiran to produce Outfinity, and that was fully producing that and and that entailed way more than I expected it to, and I was just like flooded with things I had to do, and there was a time restraint, and that was amazing. But right before Sean left, he's like, "Hey Niall, you're really funny," and
you are.
Yeah, and he was like, before I leave, do you mind like writing a couple jokes and then performing it live at some like open mic or something? And I was like, dude, Sean, like I love you, I respect you, like
don't make me do shit like that. Come on.
But at the same time, it was like a push to make me, and then I did it, and I feel like it did really good.
Wow.
And like the crowd like accepted it, and it was at the Dope Spot open mics that are held at the DAW Center for Arts. So it was just a really great crowd of people that really accepted it, and my sense of humor. And so that made me just feel like, man, I can do so much with comedy now, So
you went from doing these, from poetry, musician to producer, to finding what I'm guessing is your true calling, comedy.
I love comedy. Yeah, I love to make people laugh.
You stand up in front of someone and you fucking tell jokes. Like, how is that process? Like, how do you even... How?
Well, to be honest with you, it's a lot easier to talk to a bunch of strangers in a room full of strangers and tell them like personal things about your life and make it a joke. Like, there's a lot of comedians that just make shit up or have those one-liner jokes that are like this and that and boom, laugh. And I respect it. It's cool. But my jokes are like stories, and my jokes are kind of like stories about my life. And so
So you've got a funny life. At your funeral, do you want people to like? Do you want it to be like a stand-up comedy show type of thing?
I want them to roast me at my funeral.
So tell me. So now you're on this comedy comedic path.
Yeah.
What are you doing with that? Like, where can people go see you perform? Where can people see some of your stuff?
Cool. Yeah, I hold open mics at Bridgetown DIY in Mont Puente every other Monday now.
Ooh.
Which is really, really cool. We have an upcoming show tomorrow on Monday, but since you guys will be watching this next week, it would be Monday.
Last Monday.
Yeah, but we have another one coming up on the 18th at Bridgetown. And it's like a comedy / music thing because, you know, being involved in the music scene for so long got me in contact with so many great musicians.
Right.
And that's how we can do this show. It's just because we both know really, really talented people.
Right.
So I like to involve the musicians and the comedians together.
Where do you want to end up? Like, what is your ideal as far as your, like, how do you make a living, or where do you see yourself? Like, do you want to be famous? Do you want to be a touring comedian? Is there a specific place that you want to be, like, showcased as, or even movies? What is it? What do you want now?
I think that's a great question because I want so many things, you know, like, and I know it's so hard to be able to get that because most of the time you have to concentrate on one particular thing to be really, really good at it. But what I want to do is be like a comedian, actor. So that's what I want, you know? And that's what I'm going to fucking get.
Hey.
You know, we're going to work hard for it. Even though I work like 10-hour shifts at work too, so it's really hard to like be able to balance the both out.
You have to. I think that it's important. I think you agree that we have to make time and we have to actually be consistent in things that we really want.
Yes.
Which is something you've taught me.
Oh, man.
You've taught me to be consistent and be like, what is that word? Like, not available, but
like just present.
Yeah, in like, be a person of your word and actually be there for these things, you know, that it's not only about me, it's about we. Now that I asked you like more of on your professional side questions, I think that we need to get to know you know what I mean? Who is now on a personal level, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Where is it that you're from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Pomona, California. My pops had this insane idea to move our entire family to the Middle East, where he's from. So I lived in Palestine for 3.5 years.
What?
My job at 9 years old was to pick olives from an olive tree and take it to a market, and he would weigh it and then give me money.
You know, being from Palestine, and then, you know, being an American, especially after all of the events that have taken place and all of the profiling that has been done towards your people.
Yeah.
You know, which, you know, whatever. Has that affected you in any way? Have you ever come in contact with people that are ignorant in that sense, that have in any way, shape, or form made you feel inadequate, or have made you want to feel that way because of where you're from and who you are?
Yeah, I mean, I did face a lot of that.
I'm so sorry.
Growing up in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, like kids were really, really fucked up back then, and
they're still fucked up now.
Yeah, I don't know if they're getting better or worse, you know, I don't really monitor that.
Yeah.
But when I was growing up, there was a lot of racism, and there was a lot of kids that would just bully me and beat me up and talk shit, and, you know, I really disliked going to school because I felt like out of place. You know, and I had like a select group of friends that I still have now that like had my back, but for the most part it was pretty rough growing up. Because I have made songs about, you know, I have had some political tracks out there and some songs about, you know, me being bullied in high school and shit like that. So that was really cool to be able to like express myself and like tell the people more about my life through my music.
So, it's a trend of ours on whenever we have time that we always showcase a musical guest now, and based on your experience.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Dude, you've done a bunch of songs. I want to see you like, why are you getting all nervous? nervous. We're done.
Well, I only have like a couple of beats from older songs, so
That'll do. That'll do.
it's a
That'll
little
do perfectly.
nerve-wracking to do an old song, but I'm down.
I look forward to this very much now.
Thank you
Break
very
a leg,
much
buddy.
for having me on my own show. It's great to talk to you guys, and I hope you guys know a little bit more about me now.
I think
And just enjoy this song.
again, I'm Rocksteady Letty,
I'm Nile Rivers.
and this is Whenever We Have Time. Check out Nile. Woo!
I feel like I've been tripping on everyone I love, and I feel like I don't fit in this. Life is so corrupt, and I know my life's been written, so I scribble that shit up. I scribble that shit up. I scribble that shit up. I feel like I've been tripping on everyone I love, and I feel like I don't fit in this. Life is so corrupt, and I know my life's been written, so I scribble that shit up. I scribble that shit up. I scribble that shit up. I make my own fate, set my own dates, score my own make, cause I wear my own face. You know it's on me, yeah, the pressure's on. Make a song, go to school, make it work, get some cash and smoke some perk. Help me relax and go berserk. Meditation on this earth makes me calm and so alert. People slowly rising, looking up at the horizon, hoping it'll be their Zeus, cause my brother is Poseidon, but I'm hiding and still deciding if I should throw the Hercules. Had the whole world on my back, feel real bad and hurt my knees. Neighbors heard a scream, sounded like a murder scene. It was just a dream, trying to figure out what this all means, cause I feel like I've been tripping on everyone I love, and I feel like I don't fit in this. Life is so corrupt, and I know my life's been written, so I scribble that shit up. I scribble that shit up. I scribble that shit up. I feel like I've been tripping on everyone I love, and I feel like I don't fit in this. Life is so corrupt, and I know my life's been written, so I scribble that shit up. I scribble that shit up. I scribble that shit up. I feel like I've been tripping on everyone I love, and I feel like I don't fit in this. Life is so corrupt, and I know my life's been written, so I scribble that shit up. I scribble that shit up. I scribble that shit up.